people, welcome to Prep Elevate. Welcome to the 30-day mini RC series. Today we are at day 14 and the topic for today is mythology, the symbolism in ancient Indian epics. Once in a while you also get topics like these, okay, which might be easier or difficult depending on what kind of words are used and questions are framed. Let's just take a good look at it. The ancient Indian epics, particularly the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, are not mere narrative constructs of divine intervention and moral righteousness. Okay, so what we are trying to discuss is the Indian epics. They are not just stories of divine intervention as to how the supreme power intervened and designed the entire story. It's more than that. They are sophisticated allegories imbued with layered symbolism. What is an allegory? Allegory is when you reference something, when you use the symbolism of something. So let's say, when I design characters which are not just, blood and flesh, there is more to them. Okay. So I use the reference, I use symbolism. If you guys have, if you've read stories like that, so let's say one of them is The Animal Farm by George Orwell. Although the story is narrated through animals, there is more to it than that. Okay, so here we are talking about these Indian epics not just being just stories, but they are actually allegories. They are refined symbolisms, sophisticated symbolisms, imbued is filled with layered symbolism. Okay, so there's a lot of symbolism going on in those stories. What you see as animals or birds, they're just used as symbols to convey a deeper meaning. Okay, that elucidate, this is a beautiful word. Please make note of such words. You're going to see them repeatedly when you study and prepare for the verbal section. Elucidate is to explain clearly. So that elucidate profound philosophical and metaphysical dilemmas, obviously philosophical questions as to the meaning of life and how to maneuver through it, and then metaphysical, something that transcends the 3D, something that goes beyond 3D. So all those dilemmas are taken up, encountered, and the answers are provided in a beautiful story format through these epics. Okay, characters, events, artifacts within these texts are laden. They are laden. They are filled with multiple interpretative possibilities. uh, so what you see as a tree is not just a tree. Let's say it's a symbolism of life. What you see as a deer is not just deer. Let's say it's a better way to express the gentle sentiments of humanity. Okay, something of this sort. So when there is a thing which conveys a deeper meaning. Okay, so they transcend their surface level meanings to reflect complexities of human existence, cosmic order, and the perennial tension between material and spiritual realms. You know, the human existence in itself, it's a dilemma. Okay, sometimes you gravitate towards 3D pleasures, right? You want to own something, and then there is another aspect to it that tells you that all of this is worthless. This relentless pursuit is worthless. Ultimately you're not going to take anything with you once you leave the 3D world, right? So ये जो पूरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग ही है ना हमारी ह्यूमन एग्जिस्टेंस की, ये पूरी डिलेमा से भरी हुई है. तो इन स्टोरीज के थ्रू ये डीपर क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स हमें मिलते हैं. इनफैक्ट आई हैव हर्ड समथिंग, आई हैव हर्ड पीपल से दैट द गीता, राइट, when you read it at different phases of your life, so let's say when you are a student, when you are just crossing those phases as a teenager, then you are a young adult, and then you step into the older let's say years of your life. Every time you read it, you're going to get a different perspective. Okay, so that is the meaning of what was written, interpretative possibilities. That means आप उसको किस तरह देख रहे हो, किस तरह interpret कर रहे हो. The moment you experience life more and more on this planet, the way in which you look at things and interpret them, it gets refined. That is why हम बोलते हैं ना कि people who have lived longer, they have a different perspective. दे हैव अ रिचर एक्सपीरियंस. सो ये टेक्स्ट से भी ना आपको ये देखने को मिलेगा. और कंटिन्यूसली जो सारे क्वेश्चंस जो ह्यूमन एग्जिस्टेंस को प्लेग करते रहते हैं, ऐसा क्यों है, वैसा क्यों है, ये क्यों है, वो क्यों है, why do we go after this, why should we not go after this, all of those existential questions are answered but in a very layered symbolic format. ठीक है. अब देखो perennial tension. Perennial actually is something that lasts for long. Okay, so it's a continuous flow. So perennial is the continuous tension or conflict between material and spiritual realms. Should we invest our lives into collecting material pleasures and enjoying those pleasures, or there comes a time when we need to stop the process of accumulation and go after what is also known as detachment. ठीक है. ये continuous conflict है. In the Ramayana, the exile of Ram is not just a tale of royal duty, but an embodiment of human condition itself, an exploration of suffering, estrangement, and the relentless pursuit of dharma or righteous duty. So, जो वनवास हुआ था, हाँ, लॉर्ड राम का जब वनवास हुआ था, so अगर सरफेस लेवल पे देखो तो ये लगता है कि he just fulfilled his royal duty because his father had given a word to one of his mothers that whatever you say I'm going to grant it, and she asked for Rama's exile so that her son could rule Ayodhya. But surface level पे वो लगता है कि he was just fulfilling his royal duty. But deeper अगर उसका मीनिंग सर्च करो तो ये सारे थीम्स वहां पर निकल के आएंगे. ह्यूमन सफरिंग, no matter how rich you are, he was the prince, but still he had to go through the life of suffering, right? Estrangement, leaving behind people who you actually care for, this separation, this longing, and the relentless is a beautiful word, remember this, continuous pursuit of righteousness. No matter what life throws at you, you have to be on the right path, the righteous path, the path of dharma. तो ये सारे उसके deeper meanings और symbolisms. ठीक है. Likewise, Mahabharat Kurukshetra war is not simply a physical battle between two factions. Faction is conflicting parties, two parties who are at conflict with each other, conflicting groups. So it's not just a battle between two conflicting groups, it's a symbolic representation of internal moral and psychological conflicts individuals face, where war between Pandavas and Kauravas mirrors the ceaseless, something that cannot be stopped. Okay, cease karna matlab stop. Ceaseless is the continuous, ceaseless struggle between virtuous impulses and base desires within the human psyche. तो अगर सरफेस लेवल पे देखो तो अगेन महाभारत का जो कुरुक्षेत्र का जो हमारा युद्ध हुआ था, वॉर, इट सीम्स लाइक अ बैटल, जस्ट अ बैटल. ठीक है, वेयर टू कॉन्फ्लिक्टिंग पार्टीज आर एट वॉर. बट अगर डीपर मीनिंग्स को आप एक्सप्लोर करना चाहो, सो द डीपर मीनिंग्स, it also mirrors the psychological conflicts that individual face. साइकोलॉजिकल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स अगर आपने पढ़ा है तो आपको पता लगेगा डिफरेंट सेगमेंट्स ऑफ द वॉर में ऐसे काफी सारे क्वेश्चंस रेज हुए थे, साइकोलॉजिकल डिलेमास थे. ठीक है, वेयर इट वाज ऑलवेज टोल्ड दैट इट्स ऑलवेज राइट अगेंस्ट रॉन्ग, when you go beyond looking at people as your relatives or your brothers, your kin. Once somebody does something which is not right as per dharma, you have to fight it. And similarly, there was another lesson that even if you are a spectator of injustice being done, you are still very much a part of that injustice, right? तो ऐसे बहुत सारे deeper gems या lessons है कुरुक्षेत्र के war में. So ये जो psychological conflicts होते हैं, ये इसको मिरर करता है. सीजलेस इज कंटिन्यूस, ये जो कंटिन्यूस बैटल है बिटवीन वर्चुअस इंपल्सेस, वर्च्यू इज द इंपल्स टू डू समथिंग राइट, एंड बेस डिजायर्स क्या होते हैं? बेस इज लोली डिजायर्स, इमोरल डिजायर्स, दोस अनकंट्रोल्ड एम्बिशंस दैट समटाइम्स ह्यूमन बीइंग्स हैव, जिसको फुलफिल करने के लिए वो कभी कभी रॉन्ग पाथ भी ले लेते हैं. सो दोस लोली इमोरल डिजायर्स. ठीक है, बेस डिजायर्स. द डिवाइन वेपन्स such as Sudarshan Chakra and Brahmastra, ये बहुत they are well known weapons, they are very powerful weapons, represent the transcendent forces that govern the universe, both destructive and regenerative. तो ये दोनों टाइप का काम करते हैं ना, लाइफ देना और लाइफ लेना, दोनों. ठीक है, that is what they represent, highlighting the dialectical nature of existence itself. ठीक है, तो ये जो एग्जिस्टेंस है हमारा, दिस इज नथिंग बट अ कंटिन्यूअस साइकिल ऑफ डिस्ट्रक्शन एंड रीजेनरेशन। तो ये जो वेपन्स है ये उन चीजों को हाईलाइट करते हैं, ठीक है। These epics thus serve as a profound commentaries on the inherent contradictions of life. So hence they are, they are like commentaries or lessons on this contradictions of life, urging the seeker to reconcile the dichotomies of order and chaos. Dichotomy again means conflict. So जो भी रीडर है या सीकर है, द ट्रूथ सीकर, दे आर अर्ज टू रिकंसाइल द डिफरेंस, the dichotomies of order and chaos. That means you have to be equally comfortable when everything seems sorted, and you also have to be calm when there is chaos. तो ये जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है इसको बैलेंस आउट करना है, ठीक है। नॉर्मल एग्जिस्टेंस में हमें क्या लगता है कि अगर सब कुछ हमारे हिसाब से होगा ना वही बेस्ट है, बट chaos इज इक्वली इम्पोर्टेंट, बिकॉज कभी कभी हम बहुत ज्यादा अपने कंफर्ट जोन में आ जाते हैं, स्टैग्नेट हो जाता है हमारा ग्रोथ, तो उसको डिस्ट्रॉय करने के लिए, एक फ्रेश बिगिनिंग के लिए chaos इज एक्सट्रीमली इम्पोर्टेंट। तो ये जो डाइकोटमी है इसको बैलेंस करना बहुत जरूरी है, ठीक है। तो ऑर्डर एंड क्योस के बीच का जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है, मटीरियलिज्म स्पिरिचुअलिटी के बीच का जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है, दैट शुड बी ओनली फोकस ऑन लाइक अटेनिंग मटीरियल गेन्स, no matter what the path, what path we choose to walk down. That means immoral ways से भी क्या हमें just focus करना चाहिए हमारे material wealth पे, या हमें सब कुछ छोड़ छाड़ के just spirituality का path walk करना चाहिए। दोनों के बीच में balance चाहिए, है ना। Through self-reflection and moral discernment. Discernment is the ability to differentiate between what is right and wrong. When you are discerning as an individual, you exactly know what is right and what is wrong and how to act accordingly. So through self-reflection and through discernment, you have to balance out these conflicting entities, ठीक है। तो अगर मैं आपको ऐसे बताऊं, मैंने तो ऑब्वियसली बहुत ऐसा इलेबोरेट करके आपको काफी सारी चीजें बताई है, बट ऑल इन ऑल दिस वाज एन इजी वन, राइट। कुछ डिफिकल्ट वर्ड्स थे, बट जो जो वर्ड्स के मीनिंग्स मैंने आपको बताए हैं ना, प्लीज मेक अ नोट ऑफ इट एंड यू विल सी दैट दीज वर्ड्स गेट रिपीटेड, ठीक है। तो वहां पे कॉन्टेक्चुअल फ्रेम में अगर आप वर्ड को रिमेंबर करते हो, आप लंबा टाइम इसको रिमेंबर कर सकते हो, रादर देन सिटिंग द वोकैब बुक एंड लर्निंग इट लाइक वर्ड बाय वर्ड, ठीक है। तो अभी देखते हैं क्वेश्चंस क्या है। What is the primary focus of the passage? ठीक है, the epics are literal historical accounts, do not carry philosophical symbolic meaning, ऐसा तो नहीं है। They are layered with symbolism. The epics are layered with symbolism, reflecting profound philosophical ideas about human condition, cosmic order and spiritual dualities. Yes, ये सही है, काफी डिटेल्ड भी है, काफी सही भी है। The symbolism in the epics is limited to depiction of divine acts and heroism. No, गलत है, ठीक है। The epics focus solely on political and moral lessons without engaging with complexities of human existence. No, this is also wrong. बहुत इजी क्वेश्चंस है, डायरेक्ट है। इनफैक्ट पैसेज ही हम लोगों ने बहुत छोटा सा लिया है ना, मिनी आरसी कर रहे हैं हम, so it's easier to spot the answers also, ठीक है। तो क्वेश्चंस मैंने इसीलिए डाले so that it seems like a complete exercise, बट ज्यादा फोकस है उस पैसेज को अंडरस्टैंड करने में कि क्या हम मीनिंग को अंडरस्टैंड कर पा रहे कि नहीं, एसेंस को अंडरस्टैंड कर पा रहे हैं कि नहीं। हाउ डज पैसेज इंटरप्रेट सिंबॉलिज्म बिहाइंड रामा's exile in the Ramayana? Okay, ठीक है। As a literal journey undertaken by a king to reclaim his wife? No, literal तो नहीं था, symbolic ही था। As a metaphorical representation of human experience? Yes, suffering, alienation, quest for moral integrity, dharma या righteousness जिसे हम कहते हैं, ठीक है। ये सारी चीजें उन्होंने अपने जर्नी के थ्रू हमें बताई है, दैट यू हैव टू अंडरगो सफरिंग नो मैटर लाइक योर नो मैटर व्हाट यूर स्टैंडिंग इन द सोसाइटी। ही वाज अ प्रिंस, कायदे से हम बोलते हैं ना बहुत सारे लोगों को, तुमने क्या खुद को राजा का बेटा समझा है ऐसा बोलते हैं ना हम कि जो राजा बेटा होता है उसे तो कुछ नहीं सहना पड़ता, बट ऐसा नहीं है, राम ने भी बहुत कुछ सहा था जस्ट टू प्रोवाइड अ लेसन टू ह्यूमैनिटी। तो ऐसा बहुत सारा सिंबॉलिक मीनिंग से, एलियनेशन, to detach or to go away from people you deeply love and care about, ठीक है, and the quest for righteousness as divine punishment? No, there was no punishment. As a symbolic act of विक्ट्री ओवर इविल, नो ये नहीं था, ये तो वॉर बाद में हुआ था, एग्जाइल इसका एग्जाम्पल नहीं था, ठीक है। What is the deeper significance of the Kurukshetra war in the Mahabharata according to the passage? Okay, a depiction of an external military conflict devoid is absence. यहाँ पे स्पेस है तो मैं लिख दे रही हूँ इसका मीनिंग, ये हमने पहले भी ये वर्ड डिस्कस किया है। सिर्फ ये एक मिलिट्री वॉर था क्या? वॉज दिस जस्ट अ वॉर बिटवीन टू कन्फ्लिक्टिंग पार्टीज? नो, राइट? A metaphor for the internal moral and psychological struggles, yes, that define human existence, symbolizing the clash between virtuous impulses and base desires, immoral desires. Very well crafted and detailed option, I would say, ठीक है। सारे ही keywords इसमें एकदम punch in करके डाले गए, which is really great. A narrative focused purely on political intrigue and territorial conquest. Intrigue is curiosity, ठीक है, and territorial conquest is the steps taken to conquer territory after territory, ठीक है। तो आप जब as a ruler, when you go on this entire quest that you're going to just capture lands after land, so that is territorial conquest. उसके बाद a divine battle where gods and mortals engage in cosmic struggle for supremacy. Supremacy is to establish who is superior, but ये वो war नहीं था। ऑप्शन बी इज द करेक्ट आंसर, ठीक है। सो दिस वाज, आई थिंक, कौन सा डे था? डे 14 था ना? हाँ, डे 14. So we are gradually midway through the series. I hope you're finding it to be useful. Any comments, any suggestions that you have, I would be more than grateful for all your suggestions and comments. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.